2-point victory for the Michigan Panthers to win the first United States Football League championship. Well, it goes into the history books as 24-22 Michigan over Philadelphia, but in true reality, Lynn Swan, it wasn't that close.
No, it wasn't really that close. That final touchdown in the last second brought them back. The Michigan team really wasn't playing them tough on that touchdown, but the Michigan team did dominate the game when they played football. There was a lull in the third period. They came back on the big play to AC, touchdown, ties the game.
Well, let's go to the happy side first. Here's Tim Brandt in the Michigan locker room.
And it is a jubilant locker room down here in the Michigan visiting locker room. I'm with the commissioner of the USFL, Chet Simmons, and the owner of the Michigan Panthers, Alfred Taubman, for the presentation of the trophy.
Alfred, this is your trophy. We've come a long way, but nobody a longer way than the Michigan Panthers. To you and to Jim Stanley and this marvelous crew, my congratulations.
Chet, on behalf of the Michigan Panthers football team and all these guys out here, the greatest in America, the greatest football players ever, thank you very much. We love it. We'll take it home, and we'll take good care of it.
As the champagne flows, the people in the Michigan dressing room start to go a little bit crazy. Mr. Taubman, let me ask you this. It is one of the biggest turnarounds in the history of football. You went out and you purchased half of the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. You turned things around after losing 4 ball games in a row.
Only for one reason. Committed youngsters who came out here, knew they had a job to do, saw they were losing. Pure motivation, hard work, dedication wins all. And these youngsters prove that. True dedication and wisdom of a fantastic coach and a coaching staff put us through.
In a time of jubilation, let me ask you this, realistically, how stable now is the USFL?
How stable now? Take a look at that crowd out there, 51,000 people. Tell me how stable this is. Look at these youngsters here. Greatest football players of any in America brought this thing through. Look at that game out there today.
Let me get to the winning head coach here, Jim Stanley. Jim, congratulations, a great season.
Thank you very much. It's a tribute to the young men, the coaches, and the ownership. I think it's one of the best seasons I've ever had, and I think it's because of the closeness of this bunch and closeness of the organization.
All right, let's go back upstairs for just a second to Keith and Lynn.
Well, we know what kind of mess he's going to be. He will get your own car to go home tonight because he'll be soaked with champagne. That is indeed a happy bunch. It's a winner for the Michigan area, the Detroit area. It's an area that needs a revival of spirit, perhaps, because they've had their hard time.
They have had their hard times, and the owner may have overstated it just a bit, saying they were the greatest team, greatest sports team of all time, but that's how he feels about it, and that's how he should feel about a team that's come so far.
Absolutely. And they are the champions. 24-22 over Philadelphia, and we'll be back in a moment. Tear the goalpost down here at Mile High Stadium, but it looks like the Denver police and the security police here are a little bit tougher than they have been in some other places this season. All right, let's go back to Tim Brandt.
Thank you very much, Keith. We're back in the Michigan locker room, and I'm with the offensive MVP, the MVP of the game, and that, of course, the quarterback, Bobby Hebert. And if I'm not mistaken, Bobby, you're the first rookie quarterback to start a championship game since Sammy Ball back in 1937.
Well, this is the greatest feeling in my life. We won the state championship in high school. That was the greatest, but this definitely beats it because we were 1-4 at the beginning of the season. We never gave up, and we kept coming back, and I just praise the Lord for putting us where we at.
Bobby, I talked to you in the second half, and you said that they had changed the balls, that they were a little bit deflated. Could you feel the difference?
Yeah, well, see, they've been changing the balls. They use a certain number of balls the first half, and at halftime they'll change them. But I didn't think they had the regulation, air pressure in there the second half. But that's just something you got to put out your mind, and I'm just glad we came out on top.
MVP, congratulations. Let's get over to John Corker now, the linebacker, the sack man himself. Sack man John Corker. Now, you told me that you're going to lay your ears back, John, and that you were actually going this time. First time they nullified you. Now, this time you had a great game.
Hey, they contained me last time we played them, but this is a different field. It's a championship ball game. Champions got to play like champions. The Michigan Panthers, a champion organization, Al Tubman, Jim Stanley, Larry Collier, and special, all the way on down. All the guys, the #1 guys. #1, we came from 1-4. 1-4.
Tell me this now. Let's go back to 1-4. It was not a solid ball club back then, and you turned it around. And for you, your pro career, everything else, it was a comeback not only for you but for the entire team.
I tell you, we faced adversity all year long. 1-4 was one of the greatest times that we can build character on our ball club. We did it. We act like men. We prepared for this championship game like men, and we won it like men.
What was the big turning point in tonight's ball game?
We just had to keep after them. We knew that going into the third quarter was a very integral part of the game. We knew that if our offense could take advantage and get the football back to them and keep it for a period of time, and which they did for 8.5 minutes, we knew we had the game won.
All right, Mike Edwards is up here. Keith, let's go back upstairs now while we try to find Anthony Carter.
The spirit of Muhammad carries on here. John's all wound up.
Tim Brandt, the only voice so calm among the shouts and screams and excitement of a big win.
Bobby Hebert finished the night 20 out of 39, 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. No question he was the obvious man for the MVP award, though Anthony Carter had a whale of a night.
He did a fine job leading the ball club. Some situations where he was throwing on the run, finding his receivers in the end zone. And again, his receivers had a remarkable day. Derek Holloway, the 2 touchdowns, and Anthony Carter setting standards for wide receivers in championship games.
9 catches for 177 yards and a touchdown, and it was his touchdown that slammed the door on Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Each year, Ryder buys thousands of new trucks to rent.
We fully intended to have interviews from the Philadelphia Stars locker room, but the wires have been torn loose, apparently. Something is wrong, and we can't get a picture nor audio out of there as of this time. In the meantime, let's go back now to Tim Brandt and Anthony Carter.
Thanks, Keith. We're standing here. We've got Ken Lacey, Anthony Carter, Cleo Miller. Anthony, tremendous turnaround. Great season.
Yeah, we had a slow start early in the season, and we know we had a great team. This all about putting together, and now here we is with the big USFL championship, and we just, glad to have it, and a bunch of great guys, Ken Lacey. That's right.
Anthony, let me ask you this. Of course, you were one of the highly touted college players to go to the USFL. You lost 4 games. Any doubts at that time?
No, I had no doubts because I know that I went in training camp and I had to get in the offense, took a little time, but everything's great right now.
Ken Lacey, hey, partner, you were sick in that first half. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just had a little upset stomach. I don't know why, but it didn't really slow me down too much.
The air bother you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Here's one of the old-timers, Cleo Miller. And Cleo, after being in the National Football League for so long, it's got to be rewarding, the championship in the USFL.
I tell you it is, praise God. I've been working for it for a long period of time. I've never been involved in a situation like this, and had a lot of young guys, that went out there and really worked real hard, get to this point. So I praise God, just let us get out there and just do the best we could.
Okay, Keith, if you look back to the midseason, I think then we said success was not a destination, it was a continuous journey. The journey in the USFL is well on its way.
Well, they'll have a party, won't they? It'll be a long ride home for the Philadelphia Stars, but it was a good football team, an exciting football team all the year. Your closing comments, Lynn?
My closing comments, Philadelphia Stars played some great football.